Hey everyone, Mr. W here. Today's lesson's on rounding numbers to place values in the millions. So we'll be dealing with some really large numbers today, like 43,682,041. So what is rounding? Rounding just means that we need to find a second number that is just close to the original number. It does not have to be an exact answer. And when you round numbers like this, you're going to have a lot of zeros on the end of your problems today. Our first step is to figure out what place value you want to round to. So for example, let's round this number to the nearest million. So in this case, the 43 million, the digit 3 is in the millions place value. It's also called the 1 million. So we would underline that place value, box that number and the next number over. The 36 that you see in that yellow box there, we want to round. 36 would be in between 30 and 40, but it rounds to 40. Now let me show you that on a number line also. We could find 36. Notice it's in between the 30 on the left side and the 40 on the right, but it's closer to the 40. In other words, it rounds to the 40. Then our last step is we have rules for left and right. The left, meaning the left of that box with the 36 in it, any digit stays exactly the same. So we keep that 4. Then rules for right of that box all turn into 0. The digits all turn into zeros. Then don't forget your commas, which go in between the millions and thousands periods and then the ones and thousands periods also. So this would be 44 million. We would read this problem from left to right as 43,682,041 rounded to the nearest million equals 44 million. And sometimes you can use the approximately equal to symbol, although it doesn't exactly mean rounding, it just means approximately equal to. Today we'll be looking at place value, reviewing our steps again, and then just solving some problems. Okay, so place value, the 43,682,041 on a place value chart, the 0, 4, and 1 would go in the ones period. The 1 is in the ones place value, the 4 is in the tens place value, and the 0 is in the hundreds place value. Those three are called the ones period. Then the middle section is in the thousands period. The 2 is in the 1000s, but usually it's just called thousands place value. The 8 is in the 10,000s place value, and the 6 is in the 100,000s place value. That's called the thousands period. Then the 4 and the 3 are in the millions period. The 3 would be in the 1 millions, but it's usually just called the millions place value. The 4 is in the 10 millions place value, and then there's also the 100 millions place value. Those three make up the millions period. It's important that you memorize your place values before you start your rounding problems. Now, the commas that you see in between the millions, thousands, and 1 period is just a way for you to know the separation. So commas go in between the millions and thousands period and also in between the thousands and the ones period. Okay. So remember, did you memorize your place values? Let's try some together, okay? Okay. Name the place value of the underlined digit. Okay, did you get 100,000s? Good job. Name the place value of the underlined digit. That would be 10 millions. That would be 10 thousands. Name place value of the underlined digit. That's your million. Sometimes that's called 1 millions. That 2 is in the 100 millions. Okay, good job. Okay, so we reviewed place value. Now let's look at the steps again. The directions: round the number to the nearest 10 million. So let's put our steps in the top corner there, and let's just get started. So first step is to underline, but what do we underline? Well, the directions say the 10 million. That would be the the 1 there is in the 10 million, so we underline. Then we box that in the next digit over. Then we round the 15. We're going to round. 15 is in between 10 and 20. Now rounds to 20. We'll just again look at that on a number line. There's the 15. It's in between 10 and 20, but because it ends in a 5, it's going to round up to the 20. And then just rules for the left and the right. The left stays exactly the same. Everything to the right pops into zeros, and don't forget your commas. And so the answer is 220 million. Round the number to the closest 10,000. I'm not going to put the directions up in writing this time, okay? So, ready? Underline, in this case, the 10,000. Do you remember which one that is? Good. Box. The number inside the box we're going to round. 43 is in between 40 and 50, but it rounds down to 40. Now, rules for left and right. Everything on the left side of that box stays exactly the same. Everything to the right pops into zeros. So the answer for this one is 215,040,000. And of course, don't forget your commas. Okay, so we walked through the steps. Let's solve some problems, okay? What is 28,335,704 rounded to the closest 100,000? So our first step would be to rewrite the number so we can work with it and see it a little bit more clearly. And our first step is to underline, which we need to underline the 100,000s. That would be that first 3 that we want to box that. The 33 we're going to round. 33 is in between 30 and 40, but it's closer to the 30. Okay, and now rules for left and right. And so our answer is going to be, don't forget your commas, is going to be 28,300,000. So that would be answer B. Directions, write your answer in the box. What is 608,410,939 rounded to the nearest million? So let's rewrite the problem again so we can work with it. Our place value is million, which would be the 8. Now don't confuse that with the 100 million or 10 millions, right? It's going to be that 8. Box 84, when we round it, is in between 80 and 90, but it's going to round down to the 80. Then rules for left and right. Left stays exactly the same. The right side, all those digits turn into zeros. Don't forget your commas. And so we would write in the box the answer of 608 million. Which number, when rounded to the nearest 10 million, is equal to 490 million? It's a little bit harder problem because we're going to have to look at all A, B, C, and D and figure when we round it, which one is going to equal 490,000. When I look at my answers, do you notice that our answer that we need to round to is 400 million? Well, look at answer C. That's 600 million, so right away I know that that cannot be the answer. All right, now let's just look at A and see if we can figure this out. We're going to go to 10 million, so we underline the 10 million. Box 79 is in between 70 and 80, but it rounds to 80. Now I notice that I have 480 million for the first 3 digits. If you look over, we're supposed to have 490, so that is not a match. So I know I'm not going to go any further with that problem because that's not going to be the right one. Okay, let's look at B. We're going to round to the nearest 10 million. Underline, box. The 98 is in between 90 and 100, but it's closer to 100. Now, pay attention, this part's just a little bit tricky. 100 is a 3-digit answer, and when we write that, the 1 is shifted over to the left. I just kind of put it right on top there of the 4. Let's slide that over. So you would have to add the 1 plus the 4. Okay, so that would be 5, and then when you drop your zeros down, that's 500 million. Well, look at our answer. We needed 490 million. So that is going to be incorrect also. So it's going to be D, but let's just make sure we underline, box. 86 is in between 80 and 90, but it rounds up to 90. Then we do rules for left and right, which turn into zeros. And our answer is a match this time. So the answer is D. All right, thanks for watching. If you made it this far, great job. And we hope to see you on the next one.